There's a very specific feeling that comes with failing a goal. It's not dramatic. There's no single moment where it falls apart. It's more like you had a plan, you meant it, you probably even told a few people about it, and then gradually, almost without noticing, you just stopped doing the thing. And then weeks later, you find what you wrote down and feel vaguely disappointed in yourself. That feeling is not random. It's the predictable result of a very specific set of things that didn't happen. And today I want to show you exactly what they are. In this video, I'm going to show you what I think is the most useful framework for understanding why goals succeed or fail. Not the goal setting part most people have never been taught, the parts that come before it, the parts that run alongside it, and the parts at the end that almost nobody is doing. We're going to look at a three-layer model: self knowledge, tactical mechanisms, and what I call the process spine. And I'll walk you through each of the 6 stages inside that spine. By the time we're done, you'll have a complete map of where the gap is, and more importantly, what closes it. So, this is the foundation video for a series. Everything that follows, every shorter video, every template, and every deep dive I want to do builds on what I'm going to cover today. So, if this is your first one, you're starting in the right place. And I'm saving something for the end of the video as well, a before and after. The same goal, first without any of this, and then with all of it. The difference is significant, so stick with me. Let me start with what I'm calling the process gap and why it exists. So imagine two people, same goal, same intelligence, similar circumstances. One of them achieves it, one doesn't. What's different? The research on this is pretty clear, and it's not what people expect. At the start, both people were motivated, both wanted the outcome. The difference almost never shows up in the goal itself. It shows up in everything that happens after the moment the goal was written down. There are three layers that sit between you and a goal being achieved. Most people have none of them in place. Some have one. Very few people, all three, working together. The first layer is self knowledge. This is understanding how you actually work, what genuinely drives you, how you respond to accountability, what kind of reward registers for you, and what your neurological profile means for the way you focus, start things, and follow through things. Without this, you're running someone else's operating system. The second layer is tactical mechanisms. These are the practical tools that make the right behavior automatic rather than effortful. Rituals, habits, if then planning, environment design, working alongside other people. Most people either skip these entirely or they find one they like and apply it to everything, which is a bit like owning one tool and using it for every job. So the third layer, and this is the one most frameworks actually touch, is the process spine. 6 stages that run from the very first question you ask yourself about setting a goal through to the way you reward yourself for pursuing it. And here's the problem: most goal setting systems, OKRs, SMART goals, productivity frameworks, they're operating almost entirely in that third layer. And within it, they're usually covering maybe two of the 6 stages. The others are assumed or skipped or treated as obvious. Well, they're not obvious and they're not optional. And before I walk through them, think of a goal you're currently working on or you've been meaning to start. I want you to keep it in mind as we go through these. I'm going to ask you to do something at the end. So, stage one is consider. This is the stage almost everyone skips, and it's the most consequential one. Before you write anything down, you need to honestly interrogate whether you're solving the right problem. Most people set goals that are solutions to symptoms. And this stage also asks a harder question. Is this goal actually yours? Goals that aren't genuinely yours fail faster, produce less well-being, even when achieved, and are quietly exhausting to pursue. Stage 2 is formulate. Once you know you're solving the right problem, you build the goal in 3 layers: the outcome, the performance standard, and the process behaviors. Most people set only the outcome. The process level is where performance actually lives, though. Stage 3 is document and share. Writing a goal down is cognitive, not administrative. And sharing it with the right people or person, not necessarily the widest audience, adds a social commitment that significantly increases your follow through. Stage 4 is accountability. So, accountability that works is pre agreed, specific, and tied to a relationship the person genuinely respects. Accountability that fails is vague, intermittent, or purely self imposed. One is engineering, the other is guilt. Stage 5 is process. Track at the process level, not just the outcome level. Outcome metrics can lag. Process metrics are immediate, within your control, and give the brain something concrete to register. Stage 6 is reward optimization. So the dopamine system does not care about your goals or your values. It responds to timing and signal. Reward that arrives too late or is the wrong type for how you are wired does not reinforce the behavior that you want. Getting this right is what sustains a goal over months, not just the first 2 weeks. So I promised you a before and after. Here it is. Same person, same goal. I want to grow my business. Without the system, they just write it in January. They feel good about it, perhaps. By March, they're not sure what they should be doing each week to make it happen. There's no performance standard, no accountability, no reward structure. By April, it's been quietly abandoned, not because they stopped caring, but because they had nothing around the goal to support it. So with the system I've described, the same goal built in 3 layers. Outcome: grow revenue from 80,000 to 120,000 by December. Performance standard: win 2 new clients per month. Process behavior: 12 prospect calls every Tuesday and Thursday mornings before anything else happens. They know what on track looks like. Have an accountability partner. They track the calls, not just the revenue. They have a ritual before each session. They reward the weekly call target. Every 6 weeks, they revisit and adjust. Same person, same goal. Completely different outcome, though, not because they worked harder or wanted it more, because they built a system that was actually designed to work. That's the process gap, and it's entirely closable. So take that goal you've written and you've been holding in your mind. Run it through the 6 stages, not as a full exercise, just a diagnostic. Where does it have support? Where is there gaps? Most people find they're strong on the first stage or 2, and then the formulation is vague. There's no real accountability structure. Process isn't tracked usefully. Reward is an afterthought. You now know what you're missing. Most people spend years feeling like the problem is them, their discipline, and their character. You've just named what it actually is. The next step is building what's missing. If this gave you a clear picture of what's been missing, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps other people find this series. Follow so you don't miss tomorrow. Next is a shorter video about something that sounds obvious, but almost nobody does. Checking whether the goal you're about to commit to is actually the right one. It's the video I most wish someone had shown me before I spent 18 months pursuing a goal a long time ago that looked right from the outside and felt completely wrong from the inside. Drop in the comments which of these 6 stages do you think are the weakest for you? And I'm building future videos around those answers, so your reply genuinely helps shape what comes next in this series.